Let's talk about that welcome home fantasy we all have. You know, the one where you show up in a new city and everyone's all smiles, handing you housewarming gifts and pointing out the best food spots? Well, reality check. Some U.S. cities don't exactly throw a party when new folks move in. In fact, they might just roll their eyes and think, great, another one. Today, we're counting down 10 cities in America that aren't the most welcoming to newcomers. Whether it's the vibe, the costs, or just plain old attitude. Ready to see where you might get a frosty reception? Let's go. Number 10, Anchorage, Alaska. Think breathtaking mountains, crisp air, and an unspoken locals-only sign hanging in the atmosphere. Anchorage might look like a dream on Instagram, but moving here, it's a whole different story. The wilderness is stunning, but the people, they're pretty protective of their Alaskan lifestyle. It's not like they're rude. It's more like they've mastered the art of avoiding small talk. Plus, let's not forget the whole 6 months of darkness thing. Oh, and everything costs a fortune, from groceries to housing. But hey, if you're into solitude, frozen tundra, and maybe wrestling a bear for your trash bin, Anchorage could be your vibe. Just don't expect anyone to hold your hand through it. Number 9, Miami, Florida. Miami, where the beaches are hot, but the attitude, even hotter. This city runs on its own unique vibe, flashy cars, booming nightlife, and a pace that screams, keep up or get out of the way. Here's the thing, Miami locals have zero patience for people who don't know the unspoken rules. Don't understand how to navigate the chaos on I-95? Prepare for some honks and hand gestures? Try to fake your way through Spanish? Yeah, good luck with that. And unless you're ready to drop serious cash just to keep up with appearances, Miami might leave you feeling like the broke cousin at a billionaire's party. But if you love sunshine, a party scene that never sleeps and can handle the sass, you might just survive. 8. Portland, Oregon. Portland prides itself on being weird, but newcomers, they might find it unfriendly. Sure, there's amazing coffee and quirky bookshops, but break into their cliques? Not so fast. Portlanders love their city, and they're not too thrilled about folks moving in and driving up housing prices. Plus, the vibe can feel a bit exclusive, like an inside joke you're not in on. Try to start a conversation at a bar, and you might get a polite smile and a quick exit. Add in the gray skies and drizzle that never quits, and you'll quickly learn why Portland isn't everyone's cup of kombucha. Number 7, Boston, Massachusetts. Boston has a reputation for 2 things: wicked smart colleges and wicked tough locals. Let's be real, Boston isn't rude. It's just direct. If you don't know where you're going, someone might help, but only after roasting you for not using Google Maps. And the accent? If you can't understand it, you might as well not bother trying. It's not personal. Bostonians just have this figure-it-out-yourself energy. Mix that with skyrocketing rents and winters that feel like a game of survival. And you've got a city that doesn't exactly scream, welcome. Quick question, does this city sound as tough to you as it does to me? Leave your answer below. LA, the city of dreams and apparently a little shade. While everyone's chasing fame, the vibe here can feel a bit disconnected. Let's be honest, nobody's moving to LA to make friends. Between the traffic that eats your soul and the constant comparison game, oh, your neighbor drives a Tesla? Cool. The other one's an influencer with 1 million followers. LA can feel isolating. People are polite, but it's surface level. If you're expecting random dinner invites, keep dreaming. That said, if you can hustle, keep up with the hype, and don't mind a bit of superficiality, you might just thrive here. Number 5, San Francisco, California. San Francisco has this shiny tech appeal, but for outsiders, it can feel more like a cold shoulder than a warm hug. Sure, the city's full of innovation, but locals aren't exactly lining up to give you a tour. With sky-high rents, an overwhelming techie culture, and a fast-paced lifestyle, San Francisco doesn't leave much room for newcomers to settle in. Outsiders often feel like they're crashing a party they weren't invited to. The tight-knit communities can feel impenetrable, and if you're not in the know about the latest app, trend, or overpriced brunch spot, expect some side-eye. Oh, and try striking up a casual chat. Most people are too busy staring at their phones to notice. Loving this list so far? Don't forget to like the video and hit subscribe so you don't miss what's next. Number 4, Seattle, Washington. Seattle may look friendly with its coffee shops and scenic views, but outsiders quickly learn about the infamous Seattle freeze. Locals aren't rude. They're just distant. Moving here? Good luck making friends. Seattleites are polite, sure, but getting past that surface-level friendliness is like cracking a code. New arrivals often find themselves stuck in a bubble of loneliness, especially during those long, rainy winters. The city's love for individuality also means everyone's doing their own thing, with little interest in bringing you along for the ride. It's not personal. It's just Seattle's way of saying, you're on your own. Number 3, Austin, Texas. Austin has that keep it weird charm, but when it comes to outsiders, the city's patience is running thin. With people moving in droves, locals are feeling the squeeze. Higher rents, traffic headaches, and a changing culture. Some longtime Austin residents see newcomers as the reason their city's losing its soul. If you're not embracing the authentic Austin vibe, think live music, tacos, and chill energy, you might find yourself labeled as part of the problem. And don't even think about complaining about the heat. It's just a rite of passage here. So, unless you're ready to prove you're here for the right reasons, Austin might not roll out the welcome mat. Number 2, Charleston, South Carolina. Charming on the surface, but outsiders often find Charleston has an undercurrent of exclusivity. Locals here cherish their traditions, their history, and their tight-knit communities, and they're not quick to let newcomers in on it. Breaking into Charleston's social circles can feel like navigating a maze. Outsiders might notice a certain hesitation, as if locals are wary of anyone who doesn't share their roots. And while the Southern hospitality is real, it often stops at a polite smile. If you're not prepared to respect the city's culture and way of life, don't be surprised if you feel like an outsider for a while. Number 1, New York City, New York. New York, the ultimate love it or hate it destination. Sure, it's the city that never sleeps, but for outsiders, it can feel like the city that doesn't care. New Yorkers aren't necessarily mean, they're just busy. Don't expect anyone to slow down to give you directions or hold the subway door. It's a city that thrives on independence, and newcomers often feel like they're just in the way. And let's not forget the culture shock. From sky-high living costs to the unspoken rules of city life, NYC doesn't make it easy for newbies. If you're not ready to hustle, adapt, and keep up, the Big Apple will chew you up and spit you out. There you have it. The 10 cities that, while incredible in their own right, might not roll out the red carpet for outsiders. What do you think? Did your city make the list?